The SpongeBob Musical's UK tour has been on now for about a week, and there's been enough photos and videos for me to do what I think is a pretty decent costume review, so that's what I'm going to do. About 2 months ago, I did a very long, hour-long video where I explained my love for the costuming of the SpongeBob musical, and then I showed off a bunch of USA and I think a few international regional theatre productions costumes, because I really love all of the creative takes that different design teams have had on those costumes from the show, and the UK tour is no exception. So the costumes were designed by somebody called Sarah Mercade, at SJ Mercade on Instagram. And I have a selection of promotional photos taken by Mark Sr., backstage photos by Danny Kahn, and several other photos from Instagram with screenshots from Instagram Reels that were all taken during bows. So my initial observation about the look is that it's wonderful to see that it is a non-replica production, so it's not using the exact same costumes that the Broadway production had. Most of the costumes are a complete and total departure from the world premiere and Broadway production's costumes. This designer has created what I think is like something of a synergy across the citizens, the ensemble members, you know, through the use of these bodysuits that they're all wearing in their own colours, and they all seem to have a mixture of metallic and pattern print fabrics in like swirling organic shapes. So everybody has their own unique look, but they all fit together really nicely. Right, I figure we can just get into looking at each character's look, so we'll start obviously with the hero of the story and do SpongeBob. So his overall look is a yellow shirt with a blue bubble design. He's got these half and half brown shorts. One side is quite plain, and then the other side is like a yellow and brown check. He's got black shoes on with a chunky yellow sole, a short red tie, the same sort of tube socks as the cartoon version has, and he's got blue glasses. The hair seems to have been done with what looks like yellow hairspray, and he's also got what looks like a clear blue or green belt, which ties into the glasses if it is blue, but it looks pretty green against the brown shorts. And it looks like while the shorts have always been half and half, the contrast appeared to have been emphasised between tech and opening. I've got some photos here where the shorts, the difference is quite subtle, but then by the time that it's actually, you know, performances are happening, the yellow tartan appears to have been sort of painted on. In this photo, the actor, I believe, is wearing his own brown glasses, but we do get a better look at the hair. I do think, yep, that's yellow hairspray, and then I think he's probably also got some sort of yellow mascara or other makeup on the eyebrows. We can also see that there are some freckles drawn on. I would say my general observation of this look is that he looks like Tintin meets Brains meets SpongeBob. It's definitely unique with the bubbles on the shirt. I wouldn't have considered doing that, but when I showed this design to a friend of mine, they said it kind of looks like cartoon SpongeBob's, you know, holes, because he's a sponge, he's got holes, you know. It's really unique, and I think that's very good, especially compared to the USA's national tour. The actor that sort of was in the role of SpongeBob, he was a different guy, but they sort of threw him into the same costume, and I think maybe it didn't suit him quite as well, because that costume had really been created for Ethan Slater, who originated the role, and they'd kind of built the look around how he looked. That's why SpongeBob in the Broadway version has ginger hair, because the actor was ginger himself. Whatever. The point is that I think that Louis Cornet, who's playing SpongeBob on the UK tour, looks really like dorky and cute, and I really like it. It's good. Patrick looks... it's a more dressed down look than I'm used to from Broadway's like surf rockabilly type Patrick. For this, the silhouette is created via a hat rather than a wig. I actually think he looks a little bit like how the Sardines do in the Chicago slime tutorial. I wish personally that there maybe had been like a long wig or long hair coming down out of the hat, but that's just me. What I really like, actually love, is the unique print for the shorts. She's sort of using the same green and purple colour scheme from cartoon Patrick shorts, but taking cues from the Broadway look and creating like an abstract design to go on the shorts rather than just being like purple flowers on green. I think it's really, really nice. And I also think that the mismatched socks are a really fun detail and like very in keeping with the character. I would like to get a better look at his what seems to be like half and half shoes. And he's got like his layered t-shirts on. The top t-shirt is like dyed pink with a star in the middle, and it looks like maybe it's been spray painted on. And then because it's layered, it's very like kidcore. I think it kind of speaks to the childish nature of Patrick. It's good. Okay, Sandy. Sandy's is really, really fun. I think it's leaning quite heavily into the spacesuit aesthetic. So she's got on, the bubble helmet is signified here by a stiff, it's a raincoat hood that's been wired to sit in a circle shape around her head to kind of halo her. And it's attached to her very, very cute, shiny silver puffer vest. Her underlayer is sort of white with mesh panels. It ties in pretty well to the ensemble bodysuits. And then her trousers are like ski pants. They have some silver piping on them, which is very cute, and calls well to the cartoon version's sort of spacesuit. And her hairstyle is now the space buns that I've observed on a lot of... I have observed this on a lot of non-black actresses in Community or regional US productions. As a note about the show, I believe that Hannah Lothar is a cover Sandy, so this hairstyle is likely to be worn by both actresses. The principal is Chrissy Beamer, and I think this hairstyle would make sense to maintain a synergy between their two looks, as it would be inappropriate for Lothar to be wearing an afro like in the Broadway version. Also, she's got on silver eyeshadow, which I just think is really cute. I think her whole look is kind of giving that, like, frosty Y2K ski holiday type of vibe. Like, you could really see her in moon boots or something. I think it's really, really cute, and I really like it. I did see a couple of video clips from their tech rehearsal where Chrissy Beamer was wearing her own glasses, and I thought maybe this was going to be part of the Sandy costume. I thought it would have been really cute if both she and SpongeBob were wearing glasses and they look like really nerdy together, but it's not Sandy's glasses, it's just Chrissy's glasses, so Sandy is not wearing the glasses in the final sort of version. But, you know, it would have been cute. I would totally go for giving Sandy glasses too. Gareth Gates was one of two big-name stars slated to be in the show, but due to injury, the alternate actor Tom Reed Wilson debuted in the role at opening, so I just have images of him, but I believe, as I'm recording this now, Gareth Gates will be making his Squidward debut tonight, so I'm sure images of him will surface. Now, this is one of few looks that... very few, in fact, I think the only, that looks really very close to the Broadway costume. An orange shirt with turquoise trousers and white shoes. However, this shirt is a short sleeve button-up rather than a polo, the shoes are wingtips with turquoise accents, and the trousers have white braces. This is actually in common with the Broadway Squidward trousers, but these braces were not intended to be visible in full costume. You can just see them here in the rehearsal picture. The wig is a simple slicked back style. It's not sort of got the curls or anything, but I really like the winged eye makeup and the purple lipstick, like, a lot. I think Squidward absolutely should be a high camp character with, like, you know, a full beat. Right, as for the Not a Loser tux, it seems to be much like the Broadway version, a turquoise tailcoat with lots of sequins. The purple accents are lovely, and I really like the sort of wave design on the cuffs and the collar. The rhinestones cascading down in tentacle-esque sort of wiggles across the shoulders is especially nice, and the tailcoat also seems to have multiple tails to suggest octopus tentacles. I think this is a little bit easier to see here on this costume design sketch shared by Sarah Mercade on the SpongeBob Stage Instagram. And I'd actually noticed that I had matched up a few details when I did my own designs for fun, my last upload. For the casual look, both Mercade's shirt and mine have this little wave design. Both featured wingtip shoes. And for the Not a Loser costume, both feature purple as an accent colour to the turquoise. So I feel very, very validated. Yeah. Right, so I had absolutely no idea what to expect from Plankton. So I'm very relieved to see that the other big name star, drag queen Davina De Campo, I believe, Drag Race UK runner-up season 1, and amazing Manchester legend. You know, I've seen her live as Hedwig in Hedwig and the Angry Inch. She is fantastic. Anyway, I'm glad to see that she is still in exciting drag-esque makeup, even when playing a masculine role. I think this look is very anime-esque, from the giant spiky wig to the exaggerated silhouette. I think it's giving like Japanese, like Sentai villain. The punky cybergoth vibes are absolutely off the chain. Now, it looks like, much like in the Broadway version, there is a little Plankton plushie attached to the performer's boot to draw attention to the dance moves during when the going gets tough. And also, I did have a feeling that the smallest character in the cartoon might be played ironically on stage in this production by the tallest performer, and this did not disappoint. The combination of the huge wig horns and the giant platforms makes Davina absolutely the tallest cast member. And that's just funny. I also think pulling the eye of Plankton into the centre of the costume makes a lot of sense. I imagine from high up, which I will be when I go see it in Manchester, the look of cartoon Plankton will be pretty effective from far away, you know. The antenna, the eye, and then all the limbs. It's going to really look like Plankton. I really like it. Yeah. Karen's look is very interesting, and I assume is kind of informed by how the actress is also going to be part of the ensemble in other scenes. She has on a similar bodysuit to the rest of the ensemble, in the purple, and then on top of it is a shiny corset, skirt, and neck piece. I like how the shiny silver vertical panelled parts kind of call to cartoon Karen's silver segmented like stalk or stem, you know, her pole. And the LCD light-up visor is great. I've seen a couple of community and regional productions do a similar thing, and I was sort of fingers crossed that that would be used here as well. I don't know if, like in Broadway's version, she only wears it at the beginning and then takes it off for the remainder of the show, but I personally hope that she does wear it consistently in scenes whenever she's Karen. The wig is really, really fun. It's definitely more sci-fi in cut than the one from the Broadway production, and with it being so angular, it does kind of call a little bit more to Karen's cubular shape. Otherwise, she's got on like sort of punky platform shoes. Everybody in the ensemble, it does seem, is wearing like quite the chunky trainer. Everybody's just really got amazing sneaker game, you know? Very cool. So if you did watch my last upload, where I was drawing sort of my own versions of SpongeBob musical costumes for fun, you might remember that when I got to Mr. Krabs, I said how, like, since in the cartoon Mr. Krabs is kind of already wearing clothes, a lot of the work is done for you. So with this, you know, he's wearing pretty similar elements to the cartoon Krabs. He's got on, you know, he's got the blue top and then the darker blue or purple bottom. So for this, including the gold chain and sort of from the waist down, this is similar to Broadway. He's got the dark blue trousers and he's got the red shoes on. For the top, he's in a red turtleneck under a powder blue jacket rather than a shirt, and the Krusty Krab logo, I think, is a cute touch. So the jewel-encrusted claws. I had spotted these on an early promotional image using stand-in models, and it seems like they have made it to the final production. If I'm honest, I don't really like them, but they are kind of funny, I guess, and very Doja Cat with them being so jewel-encrusted. The wig is very voluminous, and it has this yellow stripe in it that looks very much like a squiggle of mustard in a sea of ketchup. I think it's probably supposed to be a call to the, like, wiggly antenna thing that cartoon Krabs has on his head, so there you go. Pearls is really good. When I was thinking about how to, like, do a spin on Pearl, I was trying to combine cutesy and punk, but I think I ended up doing it in a really muddled way. And I think maybe Sarah Mercade had, like, a better take on that idea. You know, she also tried to bring in a bit more of the bluey grey, really is grey, of cartoon Pearl's. You know, cartoon Pearl is grey. So through the use of the fishnet sleeves and the tights. So it's a little bit punk, but mostly cutesy. I think the dress is all so adorable. I love the umbrella-esque sort of top layer of the skirt. And instead of the silhouette angle from Broadway with the wig, which you remember is shaped to sort of look like Pearl's head, this version has just like a ponytail, calling to the cartoon hairstyle, but it's also bringing that grey again into the hair colour. I just think it's lovely. I really, really like this Pearl. Very nice. Larry's is so much fun. I feel like because we kind of have to believe the main trio as heroes, and SpongeBob especially, their outfits maybe have to be a bit simpler to make them more grounded and believable as heroes to the audience, but when it comes to the ensemble characters, they get to be a bit wackier. This is true across like every production I've ever seen pictures or videos of. So this Larry has got on a sleeveless version of the ensemble bodysuit, you know, so he can show off the guns, and he's got this funny little backpack lobster shell thing on with the tail attached. And then the wig, which is the most fun part, has been styled into like a victory roll at the front to create maybe like a lip or something. Anyway, then to suggest cartoon Larry's eyes and antenna, they've used what looks like maybe sellotape dispensers, I'm not sure exactly, but also crazy straws. And the effect is just so absolutely splendid. And to top it off, he's got his fun beach shorts as well. I just think I'm going to be spending a lot of time just like looking at that wig and thinking, how fantastic is that? I'm obsessed. Really, really love it. Mrs. Puff in the cartoon is another like dressed character, and this look here is really just like a very cute recreation of that cartoon dress with a few little embellishments. So she's got some trim on her collar, and she's got these floaty, ruffly sleeve cuffs. I just think it's absolutely adorable and delightful. I love the silhouette. A++++. Old Man Jenkins. Broadway's Old Man Jenkins has quite the classic stereotypical grandpa look. With the glasses, I assume he's meant to be this version of Old Man Jenkins. Here in the UK tour, it seems that maybe Sarah Mercado looked at the cartoon and chose to add in some of the Farmer Jenkins look for inspo, because he's wearing dungarees here. Apparently there are like multiple versions of Old Man Jenkins in the cartoon, so you can choose. He just looks kind of funny and silly, you know, it's giving old man. Yeah. Since the mayor is a character original to the musical, although I believe the cartoon did later include a character based on the Broadway look of the mayor after the show opened, basically, I've never been 100% sure what sort of sea creature she's meant to be based on. I thought maybe some type of crustacean based on the coat, or maybe a sea urchin based on the jacket underneath, but I would say that UK Tour's Maya is more of like a sea butterfly or a nudibranch, you know. She's beautifully multicolored, she's got a lot of these sort of flowy organic shapes, and I really love the very styled wave of the wig. I think it looks like in this photo you can see that the same actress, it is also an ensemble member and is still wearing the wig. It's got cans in, like Lady Gaga in the Telephone music video. Very, very cool. I just like it a lot, and yeah, I think it's just a really pretty costume. I can't wait to see it in action, because this is one that they haven't really shown too many photographs of yet. Yeah, I'm excited to see it. The electric skates. From what I can see, the skates in this production might be more like actor musos. Every clip that I've seen of them so far shows them playing instruments. I believe one of them is playing like a string instrument up here. I don't know exactly, violin-esque. The other two, guitar or maybe bass guitar. But basically playing instruments rather than roller skating or skateboarding. Anyway, they're very cyberpunk, Harajuku style, I would say. I love the CD's giant mohawk wig on this person. It's just cool. And then this other, presumably electric skate, has a wig with lots of drinking straws in, which is also cool. I think so far what it looks like, though, is that there may not be quite the same sort of contrast between the punky look of the skates compared to the regular citizens of Bikini Bottom. Broadway's skates were quite grunge, in dark clothes with tattoos on. You know, they were really like punk. Whereas these skates maybe don't have so much to set them apart. Bar perhaps they're fishnets. I noticed actually the skates are wearing fishnets, and so is Pearl, so you can kind of see like whose style she's copying. Although, again, this is a very limited look at them, so I can't really say for sure. Either way, I am absolutely obsessed with this red solo cup headpiece. How freaking cool is this? Love it. Okay, Pirates. So Broadway's version of Patchy the Pirate wears essentially the same costume worn by Tom Kenny in his appearances as Patchy in the SpongeBob cartoon, and also when he appeared as Patchy in the pro shot, you know, he was just wearing the same costume. But this version of Patchy, and in fact all the pirates, are in a notably sort of toned down look, with much more muted colours, mostly browns, blacks, greys, with pops of colour apparently seeming to come just from the bodysuits. However, these are the only look I've got at the pirates, and it comes from the tech rehearsal, so these may be incomplete. Either way, it's definitely like a strong contrast, the pirates to the citizens of Bikini Bottom. Yeah, I believe more that they were like rawr, yar, scary pirates, rather than like whey, goofy pirates. Yeah, it's definitely different. Very cool. Okay, we're going to take a look now at the Sardine followers. So it's the ensemble during Super Sea Star Savior. So obviously they still have on, you can see, they are still wearing just their regular ensemble bodysuits underneath, and then thrown over the top we've got these wonderful bright gospel robes. I really, really love the star-shaped collar with the sparkly tinsel poking out underneath, and then they've got on hats made of what looks like a plastic bell jar, probably just a cup actually, then with a pink star on it. It's got a green outline to mimic the star on the front of Patrick's t-shirt, and then there's more tinsel and just like a funny cute little smiley face. They look fabulous. Love, love, love. The Sea Anemone Chorus. Now these beautiful costumes actually slightly resemble the tail worn by the ensemble mermaid Merlina, as named by her role originator Laura Lynn McClelland in the Broadway version. As you can see, with like a similar blue and purple colour scheme that also ties into Squidward's look. So I noticed with this one actually that there's not like, in the Broadway version, the anemones wear like a bright hot pink, and then Squidward in his turquoise is like contrasting to them. But in this, the ensemble's sea anemone costumes are more in keeping with Squidward's costume, so they're really sort of like on his team. The costume itself is a puffy little dress with a Peter Pan collar and a silver bow tie, with lots of puffy petticoats to make it really like nice and floofy, and then lots of rubber washing up gloves on top, as well as more gloves on the head as a fascinator. I think it's the perfect way to suggest the wiggly fingers of a sea anemone, and I just think they're absolutely splendid. Can't wait to see them. My final observations. Absolutely wonderful. I think Sarah Mercado really knocked it out of the park and created a version, a new version of the SpongeBob musical's look that honours sort of the original intent, which was to create costumes that represent the cartoon characters without giving them like too many unrealistic or inhuman looks or mascot suits or anything, like they're people on stage, and also to use recycled materials, many of which are the types of rubbish that end up polluting our oceans. I think I saw a few of the cast members were sort of highlighting their own costumes and pointing out which sort of aspects of them were recycled, so that's very good. It's a really fun and unique take that sets the production firmly apart from the Broadway's aesthetic, allowing the performers to shine in the roles without being locked into like the role originator's appearances. Like when you see this costume, this is the UK version and it's different and it's awesome. I'm due to see the tour when it comes to Manchester in May, and I'm so excited to see all these costumes in action. Hats off to the designer, and I hope to be doing some fan art really, really soon. Right, that is it for this video. Thank you for watching if you made it this far. You will see me again if there's another one. Goodbye.